You're listening to the Awesomeness in Action radio show with your host, Raushawna Price, the giver of awesomeness.
Welcome to the Awesomeness in Action radio show. I'm your host, Raushawna Price, international author, coach, speaker, and trainer. This show is brought to you by Erie Success. Erie Success is a corporate sponsor that supports individuals and organizations as they overcome the impacts of adult bullying and conflict resolution. You can learn more about Erie Success by going to eriesuccess.com. That's EYRIE success.com, EYRIE success.com. Today's show is super exciting. I am very excited because I have with me Kara Nance. Kara is the CEO and founder of Tutum Leadership Coaching, and she is become a really good friend of mine, and I just love her to pieces. And so, Kara, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Raushawna. I am so honored to be here. Seriously, like huge bucket list, like, oh my goodness, and here we are already. All right. Yes, so glad to be here today.
I'm so glad. Yes, we are doing this. So Kara and I have a couple of things in common. We are fur mamas. We have dogs that we love. And so tell the listeners a little bit more about who you are and about, I won't spoil your introduction of your dog.
No, you're good. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's start with the fur baby first, right? Yeah. There are kiddos. Schatze St. John, and Schatze is Schatze, which is the Deutsch spelling, and she is a third generation, I believe, of the Schatze namesake, and that our grandfather, my mom's dad, Charles Atlee Kerrigan, flew in World War II, the B-17 Fortress, and he flew 50 missions, which is quite extensive. For the, yes. So the angels were with him to guard him and bring him safely home. And when he did, he had a German Shepherd, I believe, but she was all white. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but anyway, she was Schatze, and so I adore, my brothers and I adored Schatze, and we just made a vow to each other silently. I don't remember ever saying it out loud, that our first fur baby will also be Schatze in honor of our granddad's dog. So she is Schatze by that family lineage. And then when I was reading up on labs, because she's a lab mix, I rescued her from Peak Labs here in the Raleigh area. I'm in Hillsborough, North Carolina, by Chapel Hill. Originally a Chicago kid, though. I'm going to give my love to Chicago.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Chicago upbringing in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. But when I moved here, got her from Peak Labs, which are just two retired ladies, and as many as possible, really cool, small group of them. I was reading up on labs. I always knew I want a yellow lab. And I learned that they used to be called St. John's dogs because they were bred and trained up in the Labrador Sea. So they were bred to work with the fishermen all day and have enough energy to play with the fishermen's kids at night so that the fishermen could actually sleep. So her full name is Schatze St. John, in honor of her family's lineage. So I do have some buddies up in Chicago who call her SSJ.
SSJ. So, that's so cool. Yeah, the St. John's River is what I originally thought of because I'm from upstate New York, and so that's what made me think of that. But okay. So, and I did not know all of that about her lineage, so that's exciting. And you said you're from Chicago, so
yeah. I'm a military. I was like, what do I say about my quick intro? I think the long story short is I'm a military brat, a proud Army brat. My dad was 21 years Army, and I was born, it was West Germany at the time, Frankfurt am Main, and through a couple of moves, as happens in the Army. When we landed in north suburbs of Chicago after my dad did a tour at the Pentagon, and so we were Virginia, came on over to the north suburbs of Chicago, and he was up for a reassignment and a promotion to go to Korea. And the schools were so good. When we moved, I was kindergarten. So fast forward to middle of third grade, and he's up for promotion to go on the general track, and then move all of us to Korea. The schools were just so good, and he was just like, 21 years, sir, that's good. And schools are great because I'm very hardcore dyslexic. My younger brother had cerebral palsy, multiply disabled, and my older brother is gifted. So it was one of those, we finally were getting our services met, and he really, not only did he sacrifice for our country, right, through his service, then he sacrificed for his family, and retired, because I could tell that he would have really liked
to do that,
to go all the way, So I always appreciate that.
Wow.
So yeah, that's why Chicago is home. But love the world. I feel like home is Earth.
Home is Earth, where there's lots of places that you aspire to go and travel. And I know within your business, within Tutum Leadership Coaching, you specialize in Gallup, in the Gallup Strengths Finder, Clifton Strengths Finder in Gallup. They're associated, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Gallup teamed up with Don Clifton years ago
that's
to make sure that the assessment can be accessible globally. And yes, I'm a global certified coach through Gallup to facilitate and all the good things with the Clifton Strengths. It also used to be called Strengths Finder, and then they switched it to Clifton Strengths.
Okay.
Probably about a decade ago. So as an homage to the creator of the assessment, Don Clifton. So.
Got it. Okay, so I know a lot about it, but I know our listeners may not. So let's dive deep into this work, because it's life-changing when you can operate in your strengths, in the natural way that you show up. So what led you to get started to even learn and understand, and then eventually get certified in Clifton Strengths?
Yeah, so my first introduction was 2009, was working in residence life at UMass Amherst. I was earning my master's in education with a concentration in social justice education over there. And during my assistantship in Res Life, they had us take the Clifton Strengths assessment. I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. And it was just one of those, it was offered, I think we looked through it, which was helpful, and no disrespect to anybody, that's where it stopped. So it really felt more like a personality test, as I've had in the past. Right, like very, very useful, and no disrespect to any of them out there, like all very useful. However, the opportunity to make meaning out of it, I didn't realize wasn't capitalized on until fast forward to June 2016, and I'm working central office, Wake County Public Schools, also another connection that we have.
Yes.
With my department, intervention services, led by Dr. Denise Tillery, and she had our whole team of 21 do a full day retreat, and using Clifton Strengths. And in that moment, at the end of that day, I realized that was, and it's on my website, tutumleadershipcoaching.com. When you go to the About Us section, you scroll on down, and I describe it all in a bit more detail, where there's my life before that day and my entire life after that day, because what Dr. Tillery, with her leadership, afforded myself and all of us that day was the opportunity to make meaning. And my little team of three, it was me and the Michelles, it made it so that we had an appreciation for each other. But after that day, we were a steam train with beyond momentum. We understood each other. It was not only self-grace and self-forgiveness through making meaning of the Clifton Strengths assessment and what we knew about what we finally got to know more about ourselves through that experience, and then know about each other. So it just became what we were a force. And those who we served, again, we've served all the high schools, which ended up being 34, I believe, by the time we were wrapping up that adventure. Those who we served could tell us, what happened to y'all, And
you guys are totally different when you work together.
Right. And that's the key with Clifton Strengths, I have found, and it's not just my experience. I hear it over and over and over. And there's a great piece out there that Gal put with South to model this experience through Southwest Airlines.
Okay.
Because at Southwest, it also started small and mighty. It started with one team in the entire organization, and it just spread because people throughout the organization, same as it happened with us, started to look and say, what are they doing? Like, they're happy. They're enjoying what they're doing. They're enjoyable to be around, whether we're in the department with them or not. And it's this great energy that just spreads throughout in such a beautiful way. And people want to get on board because they want to enjoy what they do.
Yeah. They want to enjoy work. And I think what you didn't say it this way, but that day gave you a newfound respect for yourself and your colleagues. And really,
Absolutely.
There was like a line in the sand between before and after, and your appreciation and even how you shifted the work around changed.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This appreciation for all these times before you, Michelle, said that you wanted all the extra work. Now we understand that you hate being idle. You really do want all this busy work, and you're not just trying to be nice. Like you are just that kind of person where you just want it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I'll give you that data sorting opportunity, helps me out greatly. So just work a heck of a lot more efficient, which makes us all enjoy what we're doing so much more.
So much more. Absolutely. When you're able to really put things in place and be in your sweet spot, essentially be in working in those,
that's it,
in those strengths. Good. I love.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just important detail that two of them, that when you take the assessment, and if you've taken it before, it's best to only take it once because of survey bias. That's definitely a key that I learned through getting certified as a coach. I was like, oh, whoops, I've taken it 4 times. So that's why the original really is, if you can find your original assessment, that's the one to go with, unless you've had a major life altering experience, then take it again. But otherwise, once you're an adult, 18 and over, one, and you're good. The other piece is that it offers up the strengths to you that are as unique to you as your own thumbprint, and that the way it offers, there's 34 themes, which are potential strengths. When you invest your time and energy and knowledge into them, then they can become strengths. Of the way the assessment offers you your top 5. Those top 5 in that order, there's a 1 in 33 million, almost 1 in 34 million. So the gal just likes to keep it safe, say 1 in 33 million chance that anyone else in the world has the same top 5 in that order. And even when that happens, because I was on a team prior to being 100% a solopreneur, solo for now, future, full team. Future team. I worked on an expanded team where there were 2 directors with the same top 5 in order in the same department. And even then, still shows up. It was really cool, right? It was really cool to hear how their themes show up differently for them. And that is the other piece that I want to throw out there, that this is for development, not diagnosis. Again, I have it in my website, and it's one of those, I can't say it enough, that these tools, Clifton Strengths, Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, DISC, the list goes on, all very valuable, Yes. When we use it for development, not diagnosis. So an example is, it's not, hey, we need to hire more 7s if we're talking about the Enneagram. Right. Thank you. Enneagram. We need to hire more. My top theme is empathy. Top strength is empathy. Like, hey, we need to hire more empathy. People with empathy. No, we are humans. We are dynamic, right? Yes. So that's And I offer that so sternly and strongly because I have been on teams where leadership has said, quote unquote, we need to hire more 7s. We need to hire, X variable. And it's just, it's so like, No, no, that's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, it in the
We
days of
develop our
today,
people.
we need to develop our people. And when we boil any one person down to any one thing, that is the definition of a microaggression.
Absolutely, 100%.
So we have to go beyond that. And so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this because, Kara, as we've been talking about the dynamics of being human, I want us to dive deeper into your dynamics as a solopreneur and your journey so far. So you've been listening to the Awesomeness in Action radio show. I'm your host, Raushawna Price. We'll be right back after this.
Has fear and stress stopped you from pursuing your dreams? Does negativity keep you from living your life? Get the coaching and support you need to get to your next level with the giver of awesomeness, Raushawna Price. Get started. Call 919-351-8668 or visit giverofawesomeness.com.
Welcome back to the Awesomeness in Action radio show. And to all of you tuning in on iHeartRadio in the TuneIn Radio app, I want to welcome you back because we've been talking with Kara Nance, founder and CEO of Tutum Leadership Coaching. And we've talked about her upbringing as a military brat, as she says, traveling the world, being based in Chicago, her fur baby Schatze, and how she is really in love with the impact that Clifton Strengths can have on a person individually, and then the organizations that they're in that really embrace the dynamic learning that happens when individuals know their strengths and are able to operate in their strengths more often. So Kara, let's talk about how this holistic approach to what you do and building your business as a solopreneur, how has this shaped you, even right where you are right now?
Wow. I am thankful for knowing just so many amazing humans. You know, I think about the mentors in my life. I actually, in preparation for our time together, I remembered Oprah sharing that, you know, she was chatting with Dr. Maya Angelou, like in their kitchen or something like that, and Oprah offers up like, oh, you know, but my legacy, I just don't know if they'll, you know, something about her legacy. And that Dr. Angelou was like, you have no idea what your legacy is, you know, because it is imparting on so many people and it's so massive that you will never have an understanding. I was like, you know, another layer to that are your mentors. I have so many mentors, both in my physical sphere of influence and also just you know, that if I have the opportunity to let them know that they are my mentor, I will be so humbled and grateful for that opportunity because the list is so long. You are one of them, and yes. So it's really just tuning into appreciating the lessons that are coming through daily from mentors, and the most important guidance in my belief system, and that is from God, universe, source. I'm open to however my fellow human being appreciates that higher power, and that's really been the guiding force. And then your insight on the hero's journey, so that piece really, like I was raised a very spiritual person, you know, thanks, you know, to mom and dad. Oh, and it's mom's birthday. Happy birthday to the mom. I almost forgot. So throw it out there to you. Happy birthday, mama. But that I was raised a very spiritual person, and you, through our work together, because you know, like, you are an awesome coach and you are my awesome coach. I'm so thankful for you in my life, and shout out to Dr. Ruth out there for leading me to you. Let me know that your awesomeness exists, and just the timing of it all, you know, appreciating for fellow friends out there who are like, oh, why did this not work, or why this, that, and the other. I appreciate Steve Jobs' insight in his Stanford commencement speech way back in the day, I think like 2007 or something like that, where he talked about you Yeah, like you can't connect, he offers that you can't connect the dots in real time. It's only upon looking back. So you have to have faith. And, I think he says karma, dogma, whatever that is for you, you have to keep the faith, because it's that will afford you the opportunity to then go look back. And I was thinking about that with us, that we were in the same building.
In the same building.
At the same time. And I don't ever remember meeting you, to the point where you're like, Dr. Ruth, when she was like, yeah, Raushawna, I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I played it off like I knew, but I don't know who you're talking about. And so many of these awesome, again, mentors in my life know you, and like, oh my goodness, Raushawna's awesome. Like, how did I miss this here? And it's just one of like, I wasn't supposed to know her yet. Yeah. Like that wasn't our season. This is, so it's just appreciating, offering out that example to appreciate the
timing.
Right. Yeah. That's a holistic piece for me. And in different circles I've been in, and I'm okay with this, that's not always a popular way of thinking, way of being, and that's okay. That was part of the journey getting to the solopreneurship. Is not this time last year. It was more late winter, early summer, or early spring of 2020, coming to the clear crossroads and realization of all these self-help books and everything that I had been soaking up and absorbing for about a year and a half, from 2018 to that time, so almost 2 years. And then taking action on like, wow, this whole leveling up, this whole taking it to the next frequency, there's going to be some choices to be made, and some breaking ups of friendships and some long time relationships. So it's just one of those, the act of loving a fellow human being from afar, whether that be family, close friends. Right. And it's what you offer up in our time together I would say on a consistent basis. That you Raushawna say, be mindful of who's speaking into your life. And although I didn't know, I hadn't heard that from you yet because we hadn't met yet, that was what I was really acting. That was the space I was acting from. Like, oof, this is not serving me. Really tuning in, and that tuning in requires the bringing down of the noise of all the social, the this, or that. And really having that quiet time to be honest with yourself.
Absolutely.
And then, taking that time to, like, all right, this doesn't work.
This doesn't work.
It's not an overnight thing. So.
It's a process to build yourself so that you can build your business, and so that you are bigger than your business will ever be on the inside. You have to be bigger than that. So what is the one thing that you're the most excited about, or a couple of things within Tutum Leadership Coaching right now?
Being honest with what I know to be true of myself, and being and acting on that truth quicker than I ever have in my life. Not questioning at all the spiritual guidance and letting it in. And what that looks like in the physical is I practice the 12-week year.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shelby Bishop, local Chapel Hillian, who is a mentor of mine, and offered up like, hey, 12-week year. And like, wow, this is awesome. It really helps me stay focused. And essentially, for friends who haven't heard of 12-week year yet, the idea is that our calendar breaks up into 4 13 weeks. So it's really crushing goals for 12, taking a week off, crushing it. And so it affords you the opportunity to truly reassess what you're doing every 12 weeks and fine tune. And so through that, that's tangibly what I'm offering up, is that, at the beginning of this year, just 6 months ago, I'm doing, it was a lot of focus on putting Tutum Leadership Coaching out there on social media, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and really assessing like, okay, is this serving me? So same filter that I had with the relationships, and I still do, you know, like, is this serving me? Are the practices that I'm carrying out to build my business, is this really serving? And being very mindful of what that those tweaks and turns are. So what that looks like now, my third quarter, I'm in the third week of my third quarter. It is, and thank you for vaccinations, all the world out there who, you know, all you humans who were able to pull that together. Really thank you for your service out there. So yeah, now that the world's opening up more, being true to myself, like, hey, Vance, when you're with the people really enjoy you. You are a very likable person. People enjoy chatting with you. You have charisma, you know, like,
yes, that's your awesomeness. Yes.
That is your business. So go out there and be with the people. And it really, you know, I'm so thankful for the perfect storm of the world opening up again and me being tuned into divine message that good job first half being on social media. Now go to that next level and go connect with the people. And it's the dividends are eternal. It's really reinforcing when I'm out there. The response has just been so beautifully overwhelming in such a great way. So very, very, very thankful.
Good.
Yeah. And
So where can people find you so that they can connect? We've talked about Tutum Leadership Coaching. You mentioned your social media. So let's make sure everybody knows where to find you.
Yes. So I would say best way is www.tutumleadershipcoaching.com. And Tutum is spelled Tutum. And it means safe in Latin because I create safe spaces to have really, really tough conversations. And then leadershipcoaching.com. And all the other social media pieces are linked on that website as well. So that's probably the easiest.
Okay.
Check me out there. So we've got the strengths coaching and then also 6 and 6 mastermind. Those registrations are open all throughout 2021. There's dates available. So that's really just an opportunity for taking a pause. So if you're feeling burned out, 6 and 6 mastermind is a great opportunity for you to just take a moment to breathe 1 hour a week for 6 weeks in a safe, supportive community of like-minded individuals. Yeah.
That's good. So check Kara out again at tutumleadershipcoaching.com, TUTUM coaching, leadershipcoaching.com. And Kara, come back anytime. You're welcome on the show anytime. I love what you're doing. I'm super proud of you. And I'm publicly saying it now. I'm very honored to be your coach and friend. Yes.
Thank you, Raushawna. I'm honored. I'm so thankful. Dr. Ruth sent me your way. Yes, life has been nothing but a beautiful pivot in awesome directions. I'm so thankful that you are in my life and my friend as well.
Yes, it is definitely divine. And so to all of you out there listening, I want you to tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. for the Awesomeness in Action radio show. I also, if you are thinking about being on the show, you have a product, a service, you yourself are a coach, you have a book, you're an artist, you're a musician, let's get you on the show. Let's get your information featured and out there to a broader audience because people want to hear what you have to say and there's someone waiting so that your paths can cross so that you can help them get to where they want to be and you can help grow what you have. So email me at radio@giverofawesomeness.com. That's radio@giverofawesomeness.com so that we can connect. Until next Saturday, continue to be blessed. Always remember, awesomeness is in you. Bye, everybody.
Raushawna Price, the giver of awesomeness.